He was a widely scouted and highly touted amateur boxer who became a two-division world champion. Today, he is building a stable of his own fighters he hopes to navigate to world titles and help them establish legacies beyond his own. He is known as Bones Adams.
Welcome to Title Unboxed. With more than 40 years of experience in the fight game, our host, Doug Ward, will be covering every corner of the ring as we get comfortable between the ropes. We'll talk with both the lesser knowns and the legends, discuss boxing's rich history and current state of the game. We'll also look at today's latest innovations, equipment breakdowns, and insights you won't uncover anywhere else. Join us now as we take a look inside Title Unboxed.
Bones, welcome to Title Unboxed.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I've been excited to have this conversation because I know enough about your background that I think it's going to really be inspirational, motivational for our viewers and listeners, because you came from a pretty rough upbringing.
I was born in Henderson, Kentucky. When I was raised, we had an outhouse, no inside. We had no running water inside. We had to have a well. People had to drop the water off. Since I was the youngest, the smallest, I was going in dumpsters looking for things to sell, aluminum cans, doing whatever we can. So we're very, very, very poor.
Well, and your dad, he was a truck driver, and didn't he have some issues with his blood clots in his legs? So you kind of ended up being the breadwinner.
Well, it was, I was really young at the time, and he had blood clots, and he couldn't drive anymore. So that's how we ended up being so poor and lost everything that we had. We couldn't get a job, couldn't do nothing, and we scraped by. We did what we had to do, but he my dad wasn't the I don't know, it's hard to explain, but he wasn't the greatest thing in the world. Like by far, he's like a piece of shit kind of thing. But
put it bluntly.
But it's the guy. He made me into the fighter that I am. Mm-hmm. Not. He couldn't teach me nothing. But he taught me, he's like, listen, no matter what he did and no matter what he had us doing, it's for my career. Everything is for my career. Everything is for it. Everything.
Yeah. But I mean, you're a Midwestern boy. You grew up doing similar to what I did, was, picking corn and working in the cornfields and soybeans tobacco, and all that kind of stuff. Yep. Tobacco,
bean, hay, straw, you name it.
Well, and you moved around a lot. When and where did you start boxing? You really started boxing?
I started boxing at 5 years old in Henderson, Kentucky. My brother had started school. He was having trouble. He was 10 years old. He was having trouble. The principal didn't want to do anything about it. So therefore, my dad said, "Oh, you're on boxing," started teaching us kind of self-defense. But he didn't know nothing about boxing. But my grandparents own a trailer park over in Hemet, California, and right across the street from the trailer park was the boxing camp where Ali, Joe Frazier, for all those guys used to stay and train at. So my dad used to go watch them all the time. So since he's seen them do it, I guess he figured he know how to train.
that's not uncommon though, is it?
It's not uncommon. No.
Especially today with YouTube and all that stuff. Yeah. Anybody can be a trainer.
Yes. Well, what I say is anybody can put a towel over their shoulder, they're a trainer. Yeah, that's what they say.
True.
And I see it happening all the time.
Yeah. But you dropped out of school when you were, in 8th grade or?
Yeah, I graduated 8th grade, and the high school said if I missed more than, 7 days or 10 days, whatever it was in semester, that I will fail no matter what, because it's not a school sport. So my dad was like, he's like, we don't need you anyway. We're gonna be a world champion, so forget you. Wow. So he pulled me out. So I said everything was short boxing with my dad. Everything is boxing. He's like, I couldn't play soccer, basketball, but I couldn't play nothing. He goes, you can be good at a lot of sports, but great at one. You're boxing, and he told me that. So.
Well, and I guess that at least that part was right.
Yes, thank God. I had a lot of natural ability just like that, because I used to see things and people. I used to be in a gym and watch trainers train. Because I moved to Detroit when I was 9 years old. Mm-hmm. So I used to watch a lot of the famous trainers and the old school guys and watch what they're doing with people, and I would just apply it to myself. And I kind of created my own thing. So
Yeah. At what point do you think you realized, okay, this is my ticket out. This is what I'm going to apply myself to and get me and my family out of this hole?
I guess when I was 15, when my dad told me that, well, here's the thing. I thought I was going to go to the Olympics, but I went on a trip to Ireland. I got back, and then, obviously we had no money at the time. We were broke. So we went to Ireland, came back, and for some reason I got stranded at the airport from the U.S. amateur boxing team. I was 14 years old by myself in Chicago O'Hare Airport. My dad was like, I got to come get you. They said, oh, don't worry about it. Go get them if you want. If it makes you feel better, go get them. We'll reimburse you. So as far as I know, I was told that once my dad called back for that money to be reimbursed, they said, hey, listen, just calm down. Bones has a great chance of being on the Olympic team. He'd be, but just be patient. Just hold off. And I was like, F you, we're turning pro then. So it made me turn pro. And that's when it hit me, like, boom. Like,
wow. So, and turned pro at 15.
I turned pro at 15. Back in those days, they hand you a piece of paper and say, here, fill it out. So I just said I was 16. And they had like 5 or 6 states where I could fight at.
Wow. And you amassed a pretty substantial record at the time. You were like 170 plus fights, right? Right.
I was like 176 and 4, something like that as an amateur.
Wow.
The thing is, like, once I found my niche, when I was like 13, I started finding that power and knockout. I mean, I was boxing world champions in Detroit. Hurley Sneed, Stephen McCoy, all those guys. And once I turned 14, nobody went the distance unless I wanted you to.
Really?
It was that simple.
Yeah. When you still hold the distinction, I think, as being the only fighter licensed by the Nevada Athletic Commission at 16 years of age.
Well, I was 16, but I was 17 by the time I got to fight here. So, that's another test, Kennedy McKinney. What a accomplished fighter he was. Yeah. So my test was when I was 16, I had to spar him to get my license.
Oh, really? So, that was the test, huh?
That was the test in Top Rank Boxing. And wow. Kenny Adams, as you know, like, not my dad, but he's my dad. He,
great guy.
Yeah, he's, not when you're across from him, but yeah. Everybody was there. Mark Radden, everything was great. I mean, listen, I boxed the shit out of him, but I boxed him, so I didn't get touched. And then all of a sudden, and then everybody left. Oh yeah, he's good. He's approved. And in the last round, the 4th round, like, listen, like 5 seconds left. He hit me with the right hand. Boom. I was wobbling. It was over then. By then, though. Yeah, I did. I remember. Yeah. He got me. Hey, he's the best, though. I mean, he's like one of the best fighters. Like, he's very, very smart, intelligent.
Yeah, phenomenal. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine I was only 16 too. He was an Olympic silver medalist, I think, at the time or something. So yeah.
And had one of the best trainers in the game.
Yes, and he was. I know how things are. I won't tell you what Kenny was saying to him about it, but yeah, it wasn't. Kenny and him talking. So it wasn't the greatest.
No. A good proving ground though. I'm sure you walked away a better fighter from just having had that experience.
100%, man. I just love it. I love experiences like that. Even when I was like, I think it was like 14, 15 too. I was, what's it from St. Louis to Southpaw? I forgot his name now. I just seen him the other day too. Anyways, I was boxing him. He was so frustrated with me. Boxing him, so he tackled me like a football player. man, Freddie Norwood.
Freddie Norwood, I remember him.
Freddie, yeah, that boy could fight too, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I would not be touched by that. And he was so angry and pissed. He just like ran. He's like pushing me through the ropes and stuff. It was funny.
It's hilarious. Now, our younger viewers and listeners will have no concept of this, but there was a show back in the day called That's Incredible.
Right.
And I guess it would kind of be like, I don't know, America's Got Talent or something like that. A very dumbed down version of it. But you appeared on that.
Yes.
And you
I think it was maybe like 7 or 8 years old, and like 48-0 or something like that as a amateur.
And you did a mitt routine, or what'd you do?
Well, actually, I mean, because we was on the farm at the time, so they had us because that's where we worked out at, is on the farm, boxing and cattle fields and stuff, and it was just just we lived in a trailer.
Yeah.
Just small things like that, just things that we had the speed bag in the barn. With all the hay next to it and stuff, it just that was the concept in it. But that's where I trained at. The heavy bag full of sawdust and sand, maybe. That was my training facility. That's where I trained.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So did you get a little bit of celebrity from that? I mean, did you get some sort of recognition?
I'm not sure. Like if it was like today with the way that social media is, I believe so. But not really. Just like you said, like not anyone would know that show unless you're 40 plus, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So you turned pro 16, 23 fights into your career. You find yourself fighting for a world title.
Right.
For the WBC world title, a bantamweight, right? IBF. Again, who is that against?
Come on, man! The best ever, Orlando Canizales.
I thought you got the WBC title before that.
Well, no? yeah. I did get the WBC title. I forget kids like Diaz or something.
That was Javier Diaz.
Javier Diaz, yeah.
Okay, and you were undefeated up to that point. Yeah, 23-0. What do you remember about that fight?
I remember it was in my hometown at the time. I was down in Southern Illinois. Great fight. I hit that boy so I couldn't knock him out. I was trying to, but I felt really good. At the time, Bobby Goodman, and my hats off, he's like one of the greatest promoters ever.
Yeah. Bobby
Goodman was taking over my career. He was moving me along perfectly to make me a superstar. And shortly after that fight, the contract was up because as soon as I turned 16, I signed with Madison Square Garden, Bobby Goodman. Mm-hmm. So Senator Kushner got a hold of my father shortly after that and said, "Hey, the contract's up. I'll give you a world title fight." And I go, "No." I told my dad, "No, I want to stay with Bobby. I want to stay with Bobby." He said, "No, you're not," and forced me to go with Senator Kushner, mm-hmm. which therefore put me in with Orlando Canizales. Which even then I feel like that I could have did. It was a close fight as it is, but if it was over here in the United States, I believe I would have won.
Yeah. Well, I think that was he was your third, or was it your third defense of the WBC title?
Yeah.
And he was tough. I mean, he was a veteran. Going into the Diaz fight, were you a favorite?
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, because I was just such a hot commodity. Like, I mean, listen, I was knocking people out. I was young. Gil Clancy couldn't say enough about me. Like he would say one thing, but then he would say, "Well, I have to say I'm sorry," and then he proved me wrong again. He proved me wrong again. Every fight he proved me wrong again. So everyone just kind of got to that's what all they heard from him.
Yeah, I love Gil Clancy. Back in the day, he had a show called, God, what was it? It was on public television, and he'd sit. Sometimes he'd have a fighter on. Sometimes it'd be him talking. I think it was called Ring Talk.
I think so too.
It was on every Tuesday night. I loved it. He's so intelligent.
Oh yeah, I love Gil. He was
such
just
a boxing genius. Yeah.
It was kind of like behind the scenes, me and him were like this and stuff like that. But on the camera, he'd be like he could say, "Oh, he proved me wrong again." But he was really beside me and behind me, and I'm like, so he's great.
So 3 defenses of that, and then you meet Orlando Canizales. Do you feel like you were ready for that fight, or could have maybe moved a little slower into that?
Well, here's the thing: is like I said, I should have stayed with Bobby, and he would have made me a superstar. But second of all, is that I feel like I was ready, but yet not, because I just turned 18. And we were going to France. So mind you, I'm just a fighter. I'm going by what everyone says. So Senator Kushner said, what we're going to do is this. We're going to put it in France where it's neutral territory. It's good. You're bring about no one ever fought there before. So okay, so I train. I don't look up nothing. I don't fighters or anything, right? So once we got over to France, so I was there. Then all of a sudden, I see people coming up to Orlando. Hey, nice to have you back. I went, nice to have you back. You fight like, mind you, I'm 18. I'm here. Nice to have you back. What's going on? So then that was running through my mind, and then all of a sudden, a judge come and from Texas. Hey, one of his he's from Texas, a Texas judge. I'm saying, oh shit, like my mind, I have no one with me, bro. Nobody except my dad and a couple other people but like I said, I did this on my own. Mm-hmm. My dad, you know, he did this thing in order to get me where I'm at in a way, but yet all the boxing knowledge, skills, but that's all on me. He would just put me in the ring, just let me go. Like a toy, you wind it up and just let it go. Yeah. That was me. So all that was on my mind, just everything, all they're against me, everything was just like, it was crazy on what was going on. And I really didn't feel like fighting that day. I felt like the world was against me. And then I couldn't breathe, you know, and from the water and my allergies. And the very first punch of the third round, I got hit and broke both sides of my jaw.
Oh man.
And I fought into the 11th round, and whoever won the last round basically would have won the fight. But my dad stopped it. I'm like, what? Oh, I can't see him get hit anymore. 9 rounds I get hit. 9 rounds with this broken jaw. 9 rounds, and all of a sudden you can't even go one more. Well, like I just you know blew my mind, and I was just very upset with that. So, and then not only that though, I could say there's no insurance as well. That's why I said to Christian head over there, because it's one of those countries where it's like free insurance, whatever, you know, medical, you know. So yeah, so I could have stayed there and had my jaw wired shut and stuff like that. I mind you this. So after 9 rounds of being punched, I'm up all night long. I'm like this, walking to the airport with my jaw broken, fly all the way back to the United States, wait to see a doctor, and hold my jaw the whole time until I got back.
Terrible.
And I had no choice.
What did that do to you mentally as a fighter? Because if you consider you'd only had 4 losses in the amateur, you hadn't lost up to that point. What does that do to you mentally, and how do you come back from that?
You know what, like I said, that's the reason why now that I'm a trainer, there's nothing that I didn't go through that anyone will go through. I didn't. So I'm going to be there I had no one there to like really lift me up and get me going, get me on fire again, to say, you know, but that bothered me. Took the life out of me, you know? And I think it took more of the life out of me because of my dad stopping the fight, and, you know, just me. Listen.
Yeah.
When it comes to that ring, listen, I'm a very lazy person in general. But when it comes to boxing, I'm the most hardworking young man there is. You know, especially at that time, I would work out and train. It was it, and there's no quit in me. And it just took everything out of me because I felt like I was a quitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it took everything out of me, and therefore I didn't train as proper. You know, and I went to fight again where I didn't train as well. My arms was hurting. See, like I said, fighters. My arm was hurting way before the fight. And I took a fight and dislocated my shoulder because it's already messed up. Then it messed up again.
So that's why you lost the next 2 fights against Frankie Toledo and
my arm just dislocated. It just came out just dangling. Mind you this, being the person I am, I tried fighting him with one hand. I was locked up. I didn't care. As long as I had one hand, let's go. And the thing is, even with Frankie Toledo, I was playing with him. I was just taking it, you know, I know he's a great boxer. I was trying to slow his body down. That's what I was just doing, just slow him down and to pick it up in the later rounds. Yeah. But I didn't get the opportunity.
So you then went on a 9-fight. You had 9 more fights, 7-fight win streak. Couple draws in there, but obviously you turned it around. What did you do to turn it around from that point and get back on that winning track?
I took some time off, and just because I was always training, I just took time away from boxing, and got the hunger and desire back, you know, to where I can kind of, you know, forget about what had happened, and I took my time and just took time off, because you got like, since I was 5 years old, I was always boxing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any time off. I didn't get to do nothing. I mean, I was always boxing. So I took time off, and even like you said, even with some of those draws. I forgot his name. Edwin Santana, I think his name. I went to his hometown on ESPN. Beat man. Jesse Reed, actually, who trained Orlando, trained me for that fight. Me and Jesse Reed, after that fight, just there, we worked together, and man, I literally beat his ass, and they called it a draw, but it was in his hometown. I just had some technical draws from headbutts. I just have the. I wouldn't say the worst luck, because I'm a very blessed person, very blessed. But when it comes to the boxing side of that, like that, draws or loses, it's just not too lucky there.
Both your draws were against legitimate guys. It was Edwin Santana and Kevin Kelly, right?
At that time, no. There's another technical draw from headbutts. I've had like 5 or 6 draws, I think. But even Kevin Kelly. I feel like I beat Kevin Kelly because of this reason. Kevin was a kind of like a boxer puncher, always busy going forward. So in the first round, I hit him with the right hand, and then he sold his roll. So I boxed him, and I had him fighting my fight. So therefore, I thought I was winning, and he was the favorite. Yeah. And for me to get a draw, I feel like I won the fight.
That was a win in and of itself.
Yeah, and I was 20 then, 20 years old.
Yeah. So without a real seasoned boxing trainer, you still had a great deal of success. What do you attribute to that? Is it just, how did you get such good boxing skills, and that you think most of it came natural, or is it just you learning from watching other fighters and other people train? Being honest with myself, being that I'm watching other trainers and just hitting a heavy bag or doing whatever situation I'm doing, and seeing what is the most balanced, which has the most power, and being honest with myself. Don't throw it because I think it looks cool. Like a lot of these guys, that's what I'm having trouble with right now, training. They throw punches because they think it looks cool, or they may have knocked one person out this particular way or stopped somebody, right? But it's just a fluke accident. I'm trying to look for success over and over and over again, and what works the best continuously. And that's why I was always that way with that. Even like now, like I used to do things. I didn't teach myself really how to be a puncher until after I retired, kind of. And that's playing with the bag, just playing with a heavy bag and just remembering everything that I did. Yeah. And running it through my head real quick. And taught myself. Yeah. Well, you probably outworked everybody in the gym or in the barn. I did. Yeah, but here's the thing is, I was kind of like, that's when my hat's off to Floyd Mayweather and like Shakur Stevens and all these guys. Like, I look at myself right now, and my belts, I got 2 world title belts. They're sitting in a box in a closet. People say, why don't you have them out? And I go, because it's a reminder of my failure. What? I should have 8 or 9 of those. Because of I took boxing for granted. Boxing comes so easy to me that I took it for granted. Boxing was so easy. Like, to me, that's the reason why sometimes when I had a very difficult time at first being a trainer, because I had to break things down. I didn't think I had to break things down because I thought it was common sense. You don't know this? Why don't you know this? It's common sense. But it's common sense for me, not for them. Yeah. So let's talk about that. You've transitioned. At what point did you decide, okay, I'm gonna take what I know and pass it on? When did you decide to start the training aspect of what you do now? I was trying to do anything else besides boxing. So my friend tried. As soon as I retired, my manager and good friend, he's like, hey, listen, after I got stopped, I said I was weak, I couldn't fight, and listen, I shouldn't have took the fight, but I did anyways. I get hit in the arm, I was wobbling. Anyways, he said, hey, you had a great career, you're done.
So another one of my friends, he was in a limousine business. He was like, well, hey, if you're gonna retire, I need help in the limousine business. So I was like, fine, I hate boxing because I want nothing. I wanted to be a boxer or nothing. Yeah. That's who I was. So I went to help him. Then I found myself in prison. And so then once I got out of prison, I was just kind of evaluating things and stuff. And if anything at all, I'd like to be a cut man. And Stitch is like a father to me. We've been very close. For a very, very, very long time, very close. And I was always over here, and we had Amir Khan actually. He had Amir Khan at the gym, and then he was like, I was saying certain things to, I'll be doing this if I'll be doing that, right? And he was, oh, you should be a trainer. I go, F that, I never train these fighters, never. So then he kept a month later, hey, you training? I can train. So then next thing you know, I found myself back there in the back with Ishmael Salas helping out and learning to be a trainer.
Yeah. So, we always get into this topic of conversation when it comes to fighters as trainers. Some make great trainers because they technically are sound and they know why they do what they do, while other fighters just do so much instinctually they can't pass it on because it just came natural. Right. Do you think it benefits you as being a former fighter? Do you think it benefits a coach having coming into it with some experience in the ring?
It varies because there's also been some great coaches that have never fought in their life.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. The fighter makes the coach. The coach don't make the fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you really, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's the fighter who is in there fighting, pulling things off, making things work. It's great to have a great guidance, and that's the reason why Michael Hunter and I get along so well, and he's been doing so phenomenal lately, is because he was doing things like me. I never once studied boxing. Never once. But I would go in and do things because I didn't think about boxing. Mm-hmm. Never watched it, never studied, never did anything. I just did it. And that's the way Mike Hunter is. So now, since I'm realizing what he's doing and how he's setting things up, I'm making him realize how and when, and now he's knowing how and when to do it and how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of just reacting. Now he's setting things up. He's just, he's really coming along well. Like this guy, man, he's doing good.
I think he's somebody who's really kind of flown under the radar for whatever reason. I mean, he's been on the big stage, but he still is just not. I think people take him for granted. He's kind of a little bit of an underdog,
Yeah, he's always gonna be an underdog. I would like to see Usyk fight again. He'll fight anybody. He doesn't care. I would like to see the Usyk fight because I wasn't with him at the time. I mean, I've known the kid. I've known him forever. But I wasn't his trainer. I would like to be his trainer for Usyk. And I'm telling you, we beat Usyk. We beat him. We easy. We'll take Anthony Joshua. We'll take anybody. Tyson Fury. We'll fight him. I mean, we'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. It's just getting the opportunity.
Why aren't you getting those calls?
I think it's because they always see. Here's the thing. Since they always kind of held him back, kind of. You know what I mean? He's never really had that bigger name or been on his bigger card and really pushed behind, and people hasn't really pushed him. So therefore, they always come with too much risk, not enough reward.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. They're keeping him that way, and we're trying to make a difference right now. That's why I told him it's so important that he knocks guys out, not just wins. And he's been doing it. And he's one of these fighters who I really know how he is because this just the way he boxes, that old school style, like mine. So I can see what he's doing and how he's doing it. So in the last 3 or 4 fights that I've worked with him, he's boxed exactly the way I asked him to, and it ended exactly the way I wanted from the round to the punch, exactly perfect. So.
Well, you're right. In the heavyweights, people want to see knockouts. They want to see knockout heavy hitters.
That's it. And he said, listen, he starts the gym at 217, and starting the gym. I'm like, dude, he's chunky because I was like, you just gotta add weight. You got to add some weight. So he's trying to eat a little bit and gain some weight and work out, of course. But He's a small guy.
Yeah. Well, and you got his younger brother, Keith,
Keith, yes.
who has some great potential, I think.
Yeah, the only person who can beat Keith really is Keith, and that's what happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
Keith is a phenomenal fighter, old school, kind of that same era because his older brother just watched him and trying to be like him, not knowing what he's doing, but he does it. There's the only person that can beat him is him. And once if he can conquer himself, he'll conquer the world.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the case with a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
They're their own worst enemy.
That's what I was gonna say. I forgot. This started off my fault. So I used to go and party, right? And I win a world title. I'm partying, and I'm at a club, and I got a table here. Floyd's next to me, and I'm over there. Man, look at this dumbass, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. Do that, right? It's calling him a dumbass. But look at, like, enjoy yourself. You got this. You got to just enjoy yourself. Have fun. Not knowing I was the dumbass. You know what I'm saying? I was the one going, drinking, getting high, just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? And while he's running, he would fight Saturday and back in the gym Monday. I'm like, if I fight, I'm not in the gym until I got another fight again, right? And then it's like, but Hopkins is the same way. You know what I'm saying? Just like, they set the blueprint for everybody, and everybody kind of knows the blueprint, but these guys stuck to it and look at their success.
Well, yeah, if you're not fluctuating in weight and all that stuff, you don't have to deal with all that, and you can just focus on the task at hand and preparing to fight, not getting ready to have a training camp.
So it's funny you said weight. So me and Bernard Hopkins went on a photo shoot together. We were in Miami Beach, right? And they're doing photos and stuff, and then in between, how they changed the film back then. He's already done push-ups, steps, and stuff like that. I go, well, what are you doing, bro? We're in Miami Beach. He goes, I got to train. I got to work out. You know what I mean? And at that time, I was a current 122-pound champion. He's a current 60-pound champion, I think, or 68. I weigh more than he did. I said, that, but it's the truth. And I'm like, then again, my thinking, because boxing came so easy to me, I didn't think I had to work. That's the problem. It came so easy, I didn't think I had to work. I mean, I worked, when it's time, but it just came easy to me. If I would have just did it the way Floyd does it, the way Bernard does it, it would have been a way different outcome.
Yeah. Well, I think fighters, and especially fighters that come from nothing like you did, I think it's hard for them to not begin rewarding themselves before they've really reached the pinnacle, I think the fighters that are most successful are the ones that hold off and say, I'll party, I'll do that, I'll buy my expensive things later. Right.
That's true. But just I think it's just had to do with just laziness. The boxing come too easy. Yeah. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, just come too easy. With Floyd, that's what I'm saying. It became easy with Floyd and Bernard as well. But they also worked at it and studied it and became phenomenal boxers. Phenomenal. That's the reason honestly, because Shakur Stevenson is my most favorite young champion today because he is following the same regimen, this kid is phenomenal. And he's back in the gym. I mean, listen, same thing. Fight Saturday, back in the gym Monday, Tuesday. He's just always working, always training. Listen, there ain't one day that he comes to this gym or any other gym in the world, he can't do 10, 15 rounds. That's who he is. Yeah. Clean life. Well, I hope nothing but greatness for this kid. Yeah.
Well, it's all easy in retrospect,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It is. Yeah, but I think we're going to see more and more of that. At least I do in the amateurs and some of that. You see kids that get all this glory and praise on social media, and they've kind of reach a celebrity status before they've really paid all their dues, and all that comes so, like you're saying, so naturally. They've natural born gifts, and they may be good with their social media. The platforms, the way they promote themselves, and they get all this huge celebrity, and it's hard to live up to that, especially as your kid growing through the ranks of the sport.
See, that's the only thing bad about the social, the way it is today right now. but the thing is, I never once really, I never read, I would look at pictures, but I never once read an article about myself because I didn't want to believe my own hype. I didn't want, it is what it is. I didn't look, I didn't really watch my own fight tapes because I was too hard on myself. But I mean, I understand when you were these amateurs, I don't know, they're getting such success because of social media and they're believing shit that ain't true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're the best here, but there's a whole world out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many times, like I had a heavyweight fighter contact me the other day. Oh man, I'm the best there is over in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm coming out here to work. I go, well, maybe the best there, but
you're in a bigger pond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're in the ocean now.
Yeah, right. What are the fighters you have you're excited about? Anybody you're working with besides Mike and that you have high hopes for?
I love Sean Brewer. He's a 122 pounder, young kid, 22 years old. He's 1-0. I'm trying to look to I need management and promoter as well with him. He hard working, dedicated, and he's got all the talent that we need, and he's just like that hair away from like ready for anybody. Because he's just not what's the word? I just can say not the same. What was the word for the same? Starts with the C. Anyway, but yeah. But I mean, you never know what shot. I want that same shot every single time. And sometimes it's great, sometimes it doesn't. So
consistent. Is it consistent?
Okay.
Yeah. Consistent. There you go.
I need
it's a C word. That narrowed it down. But
consistency. So the thing is like, I need that to happen before I'm really pushing. So I'm trying to kind of take my time. But that could happen too because he's working a job. He's doing this. He's doing all this stuff and trying to box. And so it does make a big difference. I used to work a job and box, but then again, I think again, like, I wasn't consistent either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but once he gets there, he needs some loving, love taking care of him and stuff. I don't know, Deontay Brown, I got him. He's 130 pounder from Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
I think he's like 12 or 13-0. Really excited about him as well. He, that boy, he can punch and box, but he just rather just box you, just pop out and go. And he's fast, yeah.
He still plays that kind of amateur style?
Not really. I'm not really. I'm trying to change him. Yeah, I'm trying to change him. So that's the funny thing you should say that too is because a lot of times too when fighters become trainers, oh, I did this and I did this, I did that. I try training the opposite. I don't know why. Because I just I can do both. I do whatever because if I see a certain ability in someone, I try to do whatever I feel like most best for them.
Yeah.
But I think it was like Kevin Newman. I think I was working with Kevin Newman, and Kevin did something. He goes, "Don't do that." He goes, "I seen you do it in a fight." And I go, "That's why you don't do
Learn
it."
from my mistakes. Don't make them yourself.
Yeah. I knew why I was doing it. That you don't know why. You just doing it to be doing it. If you don't know and that's the reason why when I do train people, I let them know how to win. What do you look for? What are they doing? You gotta look for every scenario, and don't just go out there and just throw it to be throwing it.
Right. Well, Eddie Futch was big on that. He was like, don't change a guy's style. Just take what their natural inclination is and build on that. Don't try to mold them into a specific style.
And that's perfect. But sometimes these people got in their heads that they want to fight a certain way and they can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like to take polyminology, right? I'm gonna make him a puncher because he wants to be a puncher. He's just not.
Yeah,
but you try to mean what I'm just saying. But in Poly's head, he's like, I want to be a puncher. It's not gonna happen. So therefore, you gotta, it's kind of difficult sometimes to get through to these people. But once you beg them, box a certain way, do this certain way, and when they see success, a lot of times they keep continuing with it. But then sometimes they come back. Like I have people. What bothers me the most is when people come back there. I tell them to do a certain thing, and they come back to me. Oh man, hey, that works. But you know what happens? They'll never do it again. I'm like, you said to me it works, but yeah, you're not doing it. I don't get these. I don't get
The
it.
disconnect.
So, yeah, disconnect. I don't get it. I don't understand that. And that happens a lot with fighters. And that's where I was different. If I seen something that works, I want to apply it to everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like once I found my little niche of knocking people out, and when I was like 13, by the time I was 14, nobody went the distance, and that's all I know. Nobody.
Yeah. What did you do to help develop that knockout power?
I sparred a lot when I was younger with professionals.
Really?
Because with bigger guys, older guys, stronger guys. Reason being is because if I'm hitting these guys light, they ain't no respect. They don't make me work. They're gonna be telling them. So I had to hit them with something to make them say, "Oh, time out, okay," and slow things down. You know, you had to get the respect.
Yeah.
So I had to teach myself how to get that respect from these people. So I taught myself, how to get the respect.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap up here, I got to ask you one more question. I wanted to ask you in the beginning. Bones, where'd that come from?
Well, first I was really skinny, bony as I was born, and then I hate Clarence. I hate Richard. I hate Junior. My name is Clarence Richard Adams Jr.
Yeah.
And I hate it. And you're skin and bones. Bones. I just remember, I just always liked that. I always just like Bones Adams.
So
and the funny thing, you should say that because probably about 2 years ago, maybe, I went for a legal name change because I hate Clarence Richard and Junior. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So to change it to Bones Adams. They denied me. I'm like, what? Me being a smart ass, I was getting ready to get up and say something smart ass, and my attorney told me, not today, sir.
Well, Bones fits you. That they should allow. I mean, if Marvin Hagler can be marvelous,
there you go.
He legally changed his name to Marvelous. You'd think they'd give you Bones since you've been fighting with that nickname for your entire career.
Even like was it Yeezy named it Yeez or something like that, or something. The Prince, the peace sign, the male sign. They let anybody do anything they want. Goofy, you remember Goofy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? The heavyweight fighter, what's his name? Lance Whitaker. They changed his name to Goofy.
Yeah.
Come on. And I can't change my name to Bones Adams. I've been called my whole life. It's crazy. So
Unfair.
Yeah.
Unfair. Well, Bones, it's good talking to you. It's awesome you're in the game, teaching the next era of fighters. Yeah, letting them learn from your mistakes and your successes and passing that along.
I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get these guys to know, that there's nothing they haven't been through that I haven't been through, from the wins, the losses, how to bring yourself back, how to get yourself up, how to prepare for a fight, what to do for a fight. Just management, bad management, good management, promoters. But there's nothing I've been through. As long as you just communicate with me and I can help you out of it, you mean, or help you with it.
Yeah. Well, boxing can be a rough sport if you don't have the right people in your corner, like giving you the best advice and, helping you along with your career.
And that's so true. But everybody wants to believe the guy who is not telling them the right thing.
Yeah. Well,
they want to believe everyone else. They want to believe everyone else because, hey, you're the only one telling the truth. So you're the liar.
Yeah.
That's how it comes with me, because I'm a very truthful person. I don't like lying. And I'm not going to lie to someone and tell them there's something they're not. And but they don't hear you because everyone else is telling them they're great. And if you tell them that not to do this or something like that, I'm going to do it because they said to. Okay.
It's easier. It's easier to believe the lies.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. So, and that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You've been around boxing forever as well.
I do.
I
do. Well, it's good to have good, honest guys in it like you.
Yeah. Thank you. I try. I mean, I have to be honest. I have to be.
Yeah.
So it kills me. It eats me alive at night. If I can't tell someone the truth, and I got to tell them the truth. I got to say it.
Well, that's at the end of the day. When boxing is over, you got to be able to live with yourself. You know.
Well, not necessarily boxing, just life in general. Life in general. I can't be somebody I'm not. I never will be. I can't tell these people. Just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to be truthful with yourself in order to be true with other people, and you got to be. I'm very truthful with myself. Yeah. And I have to be, and I sleep better at night. I'm easier mind. I want thing off my mind. They get this stress, because you'll be stressed if you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I dig that about you. You know it. So tell people where they can follow you on social media and keep track of the fighters we've talked about and what you got going on.
Yes. I have. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up. So, anyways, social media. I'm on Instagram, bones.adams.boxing. And then also, I just launched I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, Undisputed CBD line. It has everything from eczema cream, the pain cream. There's nothing that we don't have. Facial, what was that? Youthful generation, what do you call that? They have everything. So for skincare. So it's Undisputed CBD.store. Undisputed CBD.store.
Website.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you.
I dig it. Bones, good talking to you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a long time coming.
I know. We'll see you again soon.
I hope so.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Title Unboxed. If you're anything like me, you can never get too much boxing. So if you'd like to watch more episodes, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our Title Boxing YouTube page.